Kadiri is a multidimensional catalyst. She is an agent of transformation, an incredible singer, and a convener. She's the one who organizes the UR3 Resilience Summit in Lagos, Nigeria, annually. Let's give it up for Stephanie Kadiri, aka One. Welcome, welcome,
Hello,
welcome.
everyone. Good afternoon. So I'm wondering if, please let me know if you can hear me, first of all. Please let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, awesome. It's been quite interesting listening to everybody speak. Well done to the last speaker. There's just so much to learn from everyone, and it's really beautiful. I really must commend Charlotte and the team and the entire Pan-African Summit for putting this really phenomenal program together to just hear from other speakers around Africa and hear the phenomenal things we're doing and just share together. I am going to just crave your indulgence, going to ask for a bit of, ask for apology. I'm out of my station. And I was a bit offended because I kept asking questions. Are we on time? When is the session? How long is the session? Because I am not in Nigeria and I am 2 hours ahead of Nigeria. So I needed to be sure. And I know Nigeria is 1 hour ahead of South African time. So I just wasn't quite sure how I was going to navigate it, but no one was answering me. So um, I was really just praying that I would be on time. I would be ready, but I hope I'm ready. So yes, I am excited today to share with everyone here. It was beautiful listening to you, Tabatso, and everything you just shared. I was just smiling interestingly on some of the things you shared, but I'm not going to go there. I believe I'm the last speaker for the day, and I'm sure everybody just wants to get out of your hair so that you would go enjoy the rest of your weekend. So I hate to have to be the one. Now, one of the most unpleasant places to sit as a speaker is to either be the last speaker, the speaker just before lunch, or the speaker just before the last session. Because then you're on your toes and you're wondering, oh, will the people still stay? Or are they tired? Or do they want to leave yet? It's such a very frustrating place to be. But I'm just going to take it with as much grace as I can and trust that this is going to go well. Do I have permission to share my slides, please?
Yes, you should be able to share them.
Okay, but before then, can I just sample everybody's energy at this point with an emoji or with a word? What are you feeling in this moment? I would really just like to know, what are you feeling in this moment with all you've heard from yesterday and today? Oh, I see rockets and thumbs up and celebrations. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I mean, what is the point of somebody said booyakasha? Amazing. You know, what is the point of attending conferences or just because this is time investment of time? What is the point if at the end of the day you are not triggered, inspired within to go do something out without? And what's the point if you're not feeling that push within? And I'm really excited to see that all the emojis. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'll just quickly share my screen. Do let me know if you see it. Do you see it? Please let me know if you see my screen.
Yes,
Do you
I
see a
do.
white screen? You see a white screen. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay. I'll hide this now. Okay, I'm going to hide this so it doesn't come my way. Fantastic. I am talking today what I titled when I was thinking about like why did I title it so, but I guess we would get into it in the course of my conversation. I'm going to be talking about thriving together, the Buffalo Code. Now, before when Charlotte told me I was going to be speaking on this, I was like, the buffalo. Like, why did she give me buffalo? Why did she give me like a lion or something? Why am I buffalo of all? Like, here's the big five, but if you had given me an option, I would have chosen the lion because you know we was talking about the lion and how the lion roars, a king of the jungle. So you're giving me a buffalo or prey. I didn't give me the predator. Don't give me the prey. I'm like, okay. But this has been one of the most illuminating researches I've had to do. And just thinking, I remember I didn't respond to a topic on time because as much as possible, I always want to ensure that I connect with the topic and I'm able to speak to it from a place of being and not just from a place of doing. And so picking a thriving together, the Buffalo Code, and this is just a perspective, a Pan-African code for us to rebuild, trust, unify our strengths, and march forward in purpose, not just as speakers, but as fellow Africans thriving forward from the African continent. There's been a bit of discussion about me already, and brief summary, but my name is Stephanie Kadiri. You can call me Steph Red. Why Steph Red? Nothing extraordinary, just that red is my favorite color. And I just thought to add it to the first part of my name, Stephanie. And because of how much I love red, I just didn't think one D was good enough. So I made it two, hence Steph Red. So you can call me Stephanie Kadiri, you can call me Stephanie, you can call me Mrs. Kadiri, or you can call me Steph Red. Not Steph. I know some people like to shorten the name. No, don't shorten my names. Either you call me Stephanie or you call me Steph Red. I'm a trained linguist. I speak French and English. I have a master's in French. I'm a credentialed life executive coach and a cognitive behavioral therapy practitioner. I have worked across Anglophone, I beg your pardon, and Francophone Africa, Asia, and currently expanding into the Middle East. I particularly focus in self-reengineering and strategic communication coaching, as well as life coaching, executive coaching, of that in together. I convene an annual resilience summit that is called UR3. I've had the privilege and honor of having Charlotte speak in one of those conferences. And also more recently, what I call the WOW movement, particularly uniquely designed for women who want to discover the next level of their wow. It's a premium luxury destination retreat for women that lasts for 1 year. And then I have a personal mantra, which is never give up until you win, regardless of how life billows, regardless of what you go through, regardless of the lowlands and the highlands of life. You never give up until you win. And even if you do not win, because winning is not always guaranteed, the most important thing is that you finish strong. Because once you have finished strong, you have won. That's winning in itself. And you can find out more about me on my website at stephred.com. Let us go right into the buffalo. Meet the African buffalo, also known as Sirius kafir. It's a kafir, yeah. An adult buffalo, I found out, is a massive, muscular beast weighing between 500 to 900 kg, has incredible strength and power. So even though when we think of a prey, it's always that, oh, I'm weak, or so probably a self-esteem issue or anything that makes us feel vulnerable. But here is a prey. Buffaloes are actually preys. They're not predators, they're preys that have strength and power, and their horns are known as a boss. They call it the boss. They are thick and strong and capable of fending off predators, ferocious predators even. So I'm now wondering, are they actually the prey or are they the predators? Now, they are highly social animals. They move in herds that can number from a few dozen to several hundreds and even several thousands. And this helps them to survive because when they're tied together, that herd, we have call it the herd mentality. I've heard about the herd mentality frequently when people say, oh, it's the herd mentality when you just see anything happening on social media, you just see any trend and you go with it. And just studying more about the buffalo made me to recognize that the herd mentality is actually a double-edged sword. It has two perspectives. Now, if the herd mentality is anything to do with the buffalo herd mentality, that's quite positive. I want to follow it. However, if it's another thing that is not positive, that goes down the decline, then no, that is a herd mentality I don't want to follow. So at the end of the day, it's now up to us to choose what kind of herd mentality do we want to align with. Now, their herd mentality helps to keep them safe. It fosters companionship and helps with collective strength. So they are stronger together and weaker apart. So one of the questions I want to throw, and I'm just going to be throwing different questions. I mean, as a coach, I ask questions for a living. And so I'm just going to throw, how strong, what is the strength of your herd? Are you doing life, business, and speakership, permit me to say that? Are you doing it alone? or are you doing it as a herd? Are you building your brand or building your business or building your career as a herd, or are you building it alone? Now, the buffalo, they have this protective and cooperative defense. By nature, they defend one another, which is also tied to their being in a herd, because that is what helps them to stick together. They defend themselves, the young, the old, and the weak. Now, when predators attack, and when you typically think of predators, for every time I see buffaloes, even in the Lion King, the cartoon, it's always lions that are chasing them. Always the lions. I know we had the big five, but we used to chase each other, right? So the lions are always the ones chasing after the buffaloes. They are the predators that attack them because in the circle of life, they have to eat. And the buffalo is plenty meat. If they catch one buffalo, they have food for the entire month. Or at least they'll eat well. It's just the one buffalo, something that weighs 500 to 900 kg. That's enough food for the entire pride. But when they attack the buffaloes, because of their herd behavior, their herd mentality, they form a circle, leaving the calves and the younger buffaloes in the middle, and then facing outward, displaying extraordinary teamwork. So when groups hear that there's trouble, oh, that somebody is attacking their kinsman, they rush in to protect their fallen member or to chase away predators. Now, just to put this in perspective, I'd like you to watch this. I really hope, please let me know if you can hear this video. Let me pause it. Let me know if you can hear the video.
We probably won't hear it. You have to share the sound as you share this. So there's an advanced setting for the sound.
Okay, please permit me. Let me share that. So that means I'll need to end it. I wasn't sure. I didn't think I shared it before I started. Please let me reshare. Okay. Yes, I didn't share before. I apologize. Can you hear it now, please?
Yes.
Great. So let me take it back.
The herd coming in here. I need to get it down quickly. Go.
Now, let me just, before I move to the next slide, this is a typical example of where the predator becomes the prey and the prey becomes the predator. It's a typical example of what it is to move together. Now, for every time a buffalo is captured and killed, it is because it is walking alone. And most of the time, so researching, I also found out that the buffaloes that mostly walk alone are either the young foals that stroll away from their mother or the very old ones that cannot walk as fast as the rest of the herd. So they're slow, and Mufasa and Scar are able to catch up to them and take them for food. But for every time they walk together, they are preserved. Do you see how that the boss, the boss, the horn is called the boss, how the buffalo uses his boss to lift up one lion from the ground? Even though it is the prey, it was able to defend itself and defend its kinsman because there is loyalty and there is trust even in the in the herd. They are courageous. Unlike many prey animals, they often fight back. Did you see how they fought back? Now, even the one that was being attacked, there were about 4 lions or 5 lions biting at it, yet it was using its horn. Anyone that came in front of it, it used its horn to push it. It was fighting back, even though it was under attack, showing courage in the middle of tribulation. Communication, they are fantastic communicators. And as someone that is big on communication, I've taught communication for almost 15 years. I just was in awe at how well they're able to communicate their fear, their pain when they're under attack. They use vocal sounds like grunts, snorts, and bellows, just like you heard it doing in the video, to signal danger, coordinate movements, and call their cows. All those ones that they are trying to prove, mommy, I can do it by myself, and then they're walking away and then they go get into trouble. That's when they remember that they should still be under their mother's umbrellas. So they are able to call their children to fall in line. Non-verbal cues such as posture, as positioning. Tabatsu was talking about, when she was talking about how you position yourself, right? So how you position your brand, your personal posture, how you dress, how you look, how you sound, the colors that you align yourself with, all of that communicates an essence that will either be respected, trampled underfoot, or attacked. They all help to maintain the herd order, and they will also help us to maintain our order, whether we are moving together as a tribe of speakers or we're moving together as a tribe of Africans. Quite importantly, I call myself the resilience advocate because, for the last 7 years, I've had put together a resilience conference, and it is here to stay. The 7th edition is coming up in January 2026, and it's holding in Doha. Just the thought of how resilient they can be. Now, many times when people hear the word resilience, I've heard people equate it to suffering and smiling, suffering in silence, going through pain and just staying in the pain. Oh, no, darling. Resilience is not that. Resilience is your ability to adapt in the highlands and in the lowlands. People crumble under challenges or under disruption or adversity because they are not adaptable. The ability to adapt from the 90s to the 2000s, from the 2000s to the mid-2000s, from 2000s to the 2020s and the 2030s, it is adaptability to move through the different eras of life, the different revolutions. Now we are in the digital, no, I don't know if past the digital revolution. We're in the AI revolution. And there are people that are anxious, there are people that are overwhelmed. Resilience is the ability to adapt. And we see that in the lives of the buffalo. They are highly adaptive, able to survive diverse environments from swamps and floodplains to open savannas and woodlands in tough conditions, whether good conditions or bad conditions. They migrate long distances in search for food and water, and they face terror of losing their lives. Sometimes they have to cross en masse when they're crossing through rivers. Now, when they're doing that, they do that together because in their numbers, crocodiles will not attack because even those ones will be trampled underfoot. But when they sway, when anyone strays, a single one is what the predator is always looking for. So just that capacity to stay resilient is something so beautiful to learn from the buffalo. Now, here are some secrets that I was able to draw from thriving for Africans, that Africans can use to thrive together, just from the lives or from the existence of the buffalo. One, the herd survives because it protects its own. We have to learn to protect our own. We have to develop a herd's mindset where we build environments where trust is sacred, where everyone feels safe to grow, to contribute, to belong, to feel seen, heard, and appreciated. Now, that's something we need to begin to do. Next, they don't just scatter, they synchronize. Now, many times particularly in this social media age, they need to just, let's just put anything out there to go viral, or it's just the anxiety and the uncertainty, either the fear of missing out on the uncertainty of what next. So we are not calculative with how we show up with self, with how we align with brands, with how we collaborate or how we associate even with whatever brand it is or whatever association it is or whatever company it is or business or profession. We must learn to no longer scatter but synchronize, pause our personal ambitions and align communities and our nations with mutually beneficial visions, values, and goals. Next is our strength is in numbers and in loyalty. And we learn that they are loyal together. They are loyal to each other. The buffalo is loyal. That is why, even in the face of danger, it sees its brother being eaten by 8 lions and it runs in to defend that brother. It runs, calls for more help, calls for backup. We need backup. This FBI backup is not even up to this one. It calls for backup to defend because they leave no man behind. They leave no buffalo behind. And for us, we must learn to leave no man behind. If you're particular about gender, then no woman behind. But when I say that, I mean we leave no one behind. Let's nurture cultures where we advocate for one another, even in our absence, and cover each other's weakness with grace. The fourth point is, from the calf to the bull, every buffalo has a role. And let me just go through. They leverage their differences. We don't all talk alike. We don't all have, many of us are coaches, but we don't all coach in the same thing. We don't all coach in the same way. We don't have the same voices. Our cultures differ. We are from different generations. Our beliefs differ. Our tribes, Africa, we have so many tribes. Like Nigeria alone. Let's not even talk about Africa. So just imagine the diversity of Africans, the diversity of African voices, of African speakers. If we could just harness this to build a fuller, richer, collective, not divisive, collective power. Just imagine how we would be as speakers. Imagine how we would be as Africans. Final point is the buffalo, they don't retreat from storms. They move forward through them together. Now let's approach the African challenges with collective resilience and bold forward movement, not fear or fragmentation, but a confidence in who we are, a confidence in what we carry, and a confidence of the understanding that we recognize of what we are supposed to bring to the table of Africa to ensure that it's a table that serves many more continents. Now, the African buffalo thrives through connection, community, collective intelligence. It's not the fastest, the fiercest, or the most glamorous of the big five, yet it thrives because of its unity, loyalty, courage, resilience, and an unyielding will to survive and protect its own in the face of threat. Back to back in defense and side by side in movement, it survives united in purpose. Now, when I was writing this, I'm like back to back in defense and side by side in movement, I had the picture of the military. Now, I served in Nigeria. We do what we call the National Youth Service. Immediately after university, you must serve the nation for 1 year. And it's like a paramilitary kind of training. Now, because in my secondary school, I always did the call. I always led the platoons. And this was the first time I was going to lead a paramilitary platoon. And one of the things I observed just doing that, because after my youth service, I was posted to a military cantonment as a French instructor. So I watched closely how the military prepare for march pasts or for those presentations. And one of the things I recognized was that even though there's a leader, so for example, I was a leader of the platoon and I gave the call from the front, and I'm always supposed to ensure that my call from the front, person at the back hears it. I am the leader and they must all listen to my voice. But leadership is not about the position we take. It's about the stance we take from wherever it is that we are. I think it's an illusion to think that leadership must always be at the front. And that is why even as Africans, we always put leadership to one person and then we forget to lead from where we are. The reason everybody aligns from the sidelines, right and left, to the center lines, to the front line and the back line, and there's synchrony. Remember, buffaloes synchronize. There's synchrony. There is, everybody's lifting their left legs at the same time, lifting their right legs at the same time, swinging their arm to the same arm swing, forward and backward, head looking at each other. When they tell us, look at the back of the head of the person in front of you and stay aligned. That is, for every time that is, and everything seems beautiful, is because each person has chosen to lead from where they are. The person at the front giving the call, I who was giving the call, I would only have been taking a stroll and cracking my voice if the people behind me did not align, lead from where they were. So back to back and side by side, there is mutual respect. There's self-respect to say, I am leading in this place and I'll hold this forte in the best way that I can, not for self, but in the better interest of the entire platoon. Because when I win, we all win. Ubuntu, when I be, we all be. The ability to take my stand and take my position will help all of us to become. And that is exactly what the African buffalo does. So from the African continent to diaspora, and I was just thinking through it, I was just thinking of all the people that we've heard, the voices of Mandela, Nkrumah, Garvey, Sankara, Malcolm X, Du Bois, and so many more echoed one message. Africa must rise in unity, dignity, self-determination for her people and for the world. That is what I believe the spirit of Africa is about, and that is what we need now. And that spirit is what I call Buffalo Code. Thank you so much for listening. I would love to hear your perspectives, take your questions, and thank you for the opportunity to share.